Hey everybody, welcome to Michigan Out of Doors. Thank you so much for joining us this week. It is a great time of the year to be a sportsman here in Michigan, and we've all been out doing a little bow hunting of late, and those stories will be coming over the next few weeks. But on this week's show, we're going to start off by doing our last river fishing salmon story of the year, and then after that, we're going to break out with a little kind of a special segment with the DNR on what we as sportsmen can do to help stop the threat of Asian carp.
Yep, and we'll also bring you a story with a bunch of kids, first-time hunters out in the pheasant fields. We'll also take a look at a new Michigan-made product for you. Lots of exciting stuff on this week's show, so you stay tuned. I'm Jenny Olson.
And I'm Jimmy Gretzinger. It's time for Michigan Out of Doors.
From the first spring rains to the soft summer breeze, dancing on the pine forest floor, the autumn colors catch your eyes. Here come the crystal winter skies. It's Michigan, Michigan out of doors. Someday our children all will see this is their finest legacy, the wonder and the love of Michigan. As the wind comes whispering through the trees, the sweet smell of nature's in the air. From the Great Lakes to the quiet stream, shining like a sportsman's dream, it's a love of Michigan we all share.
Michigan Out of Doors is presented by Greenstone Farm Credit Services, making recreational land ownership possible across Michigan and northeast Wisconsin. Begin your land financing journey at one of Greenstone's 37 locations or visit greenstonefcs.com. By Meyer, a destination for hunting, fishing, and camping. From bug spray and tents to GPS and gas, Meyer has nearly everything you need to take on nature and get you there. Meyer. By G5 Outdoors, makers of the Quest and Prime bows. Manufactured and designed in Memphis, Michigan, G5 offers archery bows, broadheads, and accessories. On the web at g5outdoors.com. By Country Smokehouse, offering a variety of meat products. Country Smokehouse is located 3 miles south of I-69 on M53, just south of Imlay City. Country Smokehouse is a meat processor, a butcher, and a destination for sportsmen.
Hi, I'm Jordan Brown, and we kick off this week's show with our last river salmon fishing story of the year on the Lapeer Marquette.
Today I was tagging along with river guide Steve Martinez and Congressman Bill Huizenga of Michigan's 2nd District and a few friends. We launched out of Barothe Lodge to make our way downstream in hopes of catching a few big kings on fly tackle.
So what we're going to do is I've got an 11-foot 8-weight switch rod, okay, and we'll fish an indicator with an egg pattern. There's some spawning fish right here beside you. There's a deep pocket here, and there's a deep pocket below them. So we'll fish indicators with this egg pattern here below or above these fish, and then behind them. And what there is there's males that are circling that spawning female in there. We're going to target trying to hook one of those males that are courting on them females in there, and trying to spawn with those. Same way we're looking for on a bigger fish.
Oh, look at this, guys! First fish of the day. Too bad it's not what we're fishing for.
There you go. Swing at it. Look at his belly. How fat he is from eggs.
Oh wow.
Yeah, feel it. You can feel the eggs in it.
Oh yeah, you can. Holy cow! You're gonna be a fat sucker at some point or another.
Yeah.
Big baby.
Yeah. So today we're on the Lapeer Marquette. We're fishing salmon. This time of year, we're in second week of September right now. We have a lot of kings, salmon that are migrating up for their spawning run, and you know, we're catching some trout, some steelhead, but mainly just salmon, and they're just starting to pop up on the gravel right now. So we're kind of targeting around the gravels, fishing the pockets ahead and below them.
Congressman Huizenga is no stranger to the West Michigan area and all of the natural resources it has to offer, with the 2nd District being home to some of Michigan's finest rivers, including the Lapeer Marquette.
My district stretches from Holland all the way up to Ludington and over into the suburbs of Grand Rapids. The northern part of the state is represented by Dan Benishek, another great outdoorsman and a good friend. And I used to stretch a little further north, all the way up to Frankfort, but with redistricting here in the state, we had to shuffle things around a bit. But there's nothing better than being here in northern Michigan and western Michigan as well. You know, getting the sunsets and getting great rivers like the Lapeer Marquette River to go on. And there's a lot to be celebrated here about what's happening in Michigan, and we got to make sure that we keep that pure Michigan feel and invite others to come join us.
Ah!
Oh, so close.
Ah! The thrill of victory or near victory, the agony of defeat. Oh man! All right.
Right where I take you too.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a patient game. You can't just expect to go out and hook 20 fish and land all of them. And it can be quite irritating to fish around 20, 30 fish and never get one to legitimately bite. But you know, they will strike out of aggression, and they will feed. It's not necessarily a feeding instinct as much as it's they're prone to pick up an egg pattern just out of instinct.
Throughout the day, the congressman and I talked about a variety of different outdoor-related issues, but one of the main things we kept coming back to was promoting the outdoor heritage and ensuring the same opportunities to future generations, something he's working on at the macro level.
Couple of bills that I'm a co-sponsor of. Dr. Dan Benishek from here in Michigan has one, as well as Jeff Miller, and it's about making sure that we preserve the heritage. And one of those is to make sure that we keep federal lands open and available for recreational uses, whether it's hunting, fishing, hiking, all of those things. And the other is to make sure that we don't do crazy things like call fishing lure or fishing tackle toxic substance, or making sure that we're able to use lead shot where it's appropriate. So it's those kinds of things that we need to make sure that we're maintaining a real focus on.
There's an ear picture.
Reel right down, reel. Okay,
To my fellow hunters and anglers, I hope they get involved. I hope that their voice is being heard through lots of different associations and groups. I think it is important, as someone who is influenced and affected by the legislation that's out there. It's good to know that you've got friends behind you that think the same way and that are wanting to work towards a better Michigan for anglers and for recreational hunters.
Woo! Yeah, you gotta love pure Michigan, man. Gotta love a day like this.
Wow, I'll tell you what, you earned this one. You earned this one. Nice job.
Thanks, man.
Nice job.
A lot of the hot button issues that we're dealing with, obviously Asian carp here in the Great Lakes is of major concern, and that's something I'm working on very closely and trying to make sure that we don't lose the opportunity to stop the infestation here. One of the main reasons why we have to pay attention to the Asian carp issue is this. We don't want to lose this. We don't want to lose the opportunity, both the recreational opportunity, but as well as the economic opportunity. There's a lot of small towns here in northern Michigan that are very, very dependent on that. So it's about accessibility, and it's about making sure that there's fish or game to go after at some point or another. That's what's really in danger. You know, there's a number of other things here in Michigan as well. Sleeping Bear Dunes, making sure that we've got access and availability there. That's a very important thing to me, and I know to a lot of other people as well.
We've been at this for a little while. Partially it's bad fishing technique, but they've been, you guys have been patient. Appreciate that. So this has been good though. It was sitting there waiting for us. Way to go, thanks.
Congressman Huizinga was quickly understanding why this type of fishing is so addicting and why it's so important to protect. By the end of the day, even Steve was getting in on the action on this beautiful September afternoon.
I'm not sure how you grow up in Michigan and not be attracted to either hunting or fishing. And I do a lot of duck hunting and a lot of upland bird hunting. I haven't done a whole lot of fishing, but really enjoyed it out here today, and it's been an awesome day. And you know, it's very important that we make sure that we maintain that heritage for our kids and our grandkids. It's something that we're losing or in danger of losing. and we're fighting hard to make sure that we don't do that.
It was refreshing to talk to a politician that understands what it's like to be an outdoor enthusiast here in Michigan and get caught up on some of the issues going on both here and in Washington concerning the outdoors. Special thanks to both Steve and Congressman Huizinga for letting me tag along on this beautiful day here in West Michigan.
Well, as you can see, we have some of the greatest fishing resources of anywhere in the world here in the great state of Michigan, and that's why that threat of Asian carp is very real to those of us that are anglers here in the state of Michigan. What we're going to do now is stop in with the DNR and get a little more information on what you and I can do as anglers to stop the threat of Asian carp. Hey, I'm Jimmy Gretzinger from Michigan Out of Doors Television. We're here today with Todd Grischke from the DNR. We're going to talk a little bit about Asian carp today. Now, Todd, as an angler, this seems like such a big issue, and I know the department's doing some stuff, but as an angler, it doesn't really feel like there's much we can do to help prevent Asian carp from getting into our system. But you're here today to say there are some things that anglers can do.
Yeah, there is, and especially when it comes to bait, when they go to buy bait at a bait store. You know, as an agency, we're doing what we can to prevent adult Asian carp from getting into the Great Lakes, specifically big head and silver carp. And I think a lot of people are familiar with the images or the video of the large Asian carp jumping out of the water when a boat goes by or a jet ski goes by. But I don't think a lot of people are tuned into what they can do as an angler when it comes to looking at the bait that they buy. The bait harvesters, those that go out and collect the bait for us to use, are setting nets and collecting large numbers, big schools of small minnows. And in those schools of fish can be Asian carp, big head or silver carp minnows. They could come in
through the bait supply.
Yeah, and so as an angler, they can help us by learning what common bait looks like, learning how to distinguish between big head, silver, and other common bait species, and help prevent those fish from getting into our system.
Okay, well, we've got some here today, so run me through a little bit. We're going to look at some minnows here and kind of walk through, you know, what folks can look for.
Well, I brought along two species of Asian carp, a big head and a silver.
Okay.
And then four common species that anglers would likely find in their bait bucket or encounter when they're out fishing. A gizzard shad, an emerald shiner, a spottail shiner, and a golden shiner.
Okay.
So I'd like to walk through some of the characteristics, likenesses between them, and maybe some differences.
How could folks kind of differentiate here?
Well, let's look at the Asian carp species first, because the two species that we're really concerned with are big head and silver. And the big head are, from a color standpoint, very different from the silver. The big head carp have almost a mottled appearance, brownish olive splotches over the body, whereas the silver carp, it gets its name from being silver. And both of these fish have very small scales. If you look, you can't hardly even see the scales. So that's another distinguishing characteristic of Asian carp. Also, Asian carp's eyes are set on the midline of their body or below. So when you look at them, not only are the eyes large, but they're also sitting below a line. If you were to draw a line from the tail section straight down the body to the mouth, that eye sits on that line or below. The same with the silver carp.
Okay.
Also, their mouths is another distinguishing characteristic. If you look at an Asian carp mouth, they almost look like they're frowning, because it's a downturned mouth. And you don't see that in a lot of our common species. So looking at the common bait species that people may be familiar with or may encounter in their bait buckets now, let's look at the golden shiner. The golden shiner actually looks quite a bit like the silver carp in appearance, but there are some characteristics of the golden shiner that make it different. First of all, the scales. The scales are very large on a golden shiner, and people that catch these on their own or will see them in a bait shop will see that these are real brassy, almost an orange color, orange-brown. So between the scales and the color, it already sets it apart from the Asian carp species. This is a spottail shiner, a very common species that anglers would encounter. And it's when you look at it in comparison to the Asian carp, this is long and very narrow, very, very thin. And it's also a very different color. It's almost an olive brown color on the back, and the distinguishing characteristic of a spottail shiner is this the spot on the very back part of the tail.
Okay.
This here is the emerald shiner, and probably the most common bait species that people encounter. It gets its name from being almost emerald green and very bright, iridescent. You can see the shine on the side. Again, very elongated, very narrow, very different body shape from the Asian carp species. The last fish that I have here is the gizzard shad, and the distinguishing characteristics on a gizzard shad are this spot right here behind the cheek.
Yep.
And also on gizzard shads, and this is going to be difficult to see, maybe we can get a close-up here, but there's a small fin ray on the back here. That's another distinguishing characteristic of that fish.
Well, Todd, so it does look like there are some things that we as sportsmen can do to help prevent Asian carp from getting in the system.
There are, and as an angler, if you do come across a bait fish that looks odd or different from those that you're used to using, you think it may be Asian carp, a big head or a silver carp minnow, we ask you to discard that fish in the trash. Disposing of it in the water that you're fishing may actually lead to, introducing that into the water body. So either discard it in the trash or contact a Department of Natural Resources representative and we'll come out and positively identify the minnow for you.
Great. Well, it's a lot of good information. Todd, thanks for spending some time with us today.
Sure thing. Thanks for having us.
See you on the water.
All right.
For more information on Asian carp and anything fishing related, you can refer to the Michigan DNR website.
There are a lot of organizations here in the state of Michigan that are working hard every day to make sure our outdoor heritage is alive and well tomorrow. Hunters Creek Club in Metamora was host to a special event a few weeks ago. The Salvation Army teamed up with the Lapeer County chapter of Pheasants Forever and the Southeast Michigan Bow Hunters chapter of Safari Club International for an annual Kids Day of Hunting and Shooting. This is the 5th year these three groups have come together for this fun event.
Well, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to introduce the kids to a little hunter safety. We have a little walk that we take them on in which we take them, they do a safety walk across a fence. It's a little trail. We talk shooting on the ground, hunters ethics. We introduce them to a whole bunch of things, and then we're going to take them out for some sporting clays and then into the field for several hours and come back, and we're going to enjoy a good community lunch. Well, we're involved because we reach a demographic that I don't think the outdoor community knows even exists. I mean, all these kids come from the city. Most all of them come from the city. My fondest memory is the first time we did a hunt, and we do all of our hunts on preserve so we can kind of control everything. Most of these kids have never seen a pheasant. So since then, we've seen the need to reach out to these kids, and you know, the whole chapter is excited to be able to do this.
Jill Johnson is the Director of Character Building Ministries at Salvation Army, and her goal today is pretty simple.
What we want to accomplish is get our kids outside, bottom line. It's as simple as that, while giving them experiences that they may not otherwise have the opportunity to have. They are an awesome group of people to work with. They give us all kinds of experiences that our kids would not otherwise have. This event today is sponsored by Youth Pheasants Forever, this Lapeer chapter, Safari Club, Southeast Bow Hunters Club is the group that comes out every summer also to Echo Grove and teaches our kids hunter safety so that days like today are possible.
Shoot it! Shoot it! Come on,
okay. That happened quick. Well, the dogs were hard at work, and the first bird of the day had been pointed and flushed and flew away. John, Damien, Clayton, and Harley were learning that knocking a bird out of the sky isn't as easy as it may seem.
ready, Damien. There you go.
Well, one more bird got away from our hunters, and while the dogs tried to relocate it, I had a chance to visit with one of the only young ladies out here today.
So what's your name?
Harley.
Harley, where are you from?
I'm from Alpena.
Alpena, sweet. You've never hunted pheasants? I thought everybody up north hunted. Well, cool. What do you think of it?
I think it's fun.
Yeah? Pretty cool, and that rooster just flushed up right in front of you, huh?
Yeah, they said that I got just behind it.
All right. Well, cool. It gets your heart pumping, hey? Did you break any clays today?
Uh-uh.
Okay, cool. All right, well, good luck.
Thank you.
Okay, bring it down. Now,
Did you just get a bird?
Yeah.
I didn't have the camera on, but tell me what happened.
I don't know, like, oh, there it is.
Oh, there it comes. Hit it right there. Here. Thank you. It's your first pheasant.
If everybody else couldn't shoot, but I could, so I shot it.
Yeah, she should carry it.
Oh yeah,
always hang the tail out so everybody knows you got it.
Harley, tell me what happened.
Well, everybody else couldn't shoot because it was over by me, but I could, so I just brought it around and I shot it because he said that I could shoot it. And I got it.
Nice
and
job.
I'm really happy.
Your first pheasant ever? Excellent. You're gonna eat it for dinner?
I don't know. Depends on if I like the taste of it or not.
Cool. Congratulations. Nice shooting.
Thank you.
You ready? It's on the end. It's on the end.
Did you knock that bird down? It took it a while to fall, but the dog found it. The game bags were starting to fill up. Harley and Clayton had connected with a couple of pheasants, and Damien and John were itching to drop their first birds of the day. On the next flush, the guys ended up tag teaming a bird and dropping it right away. Get it! Woo!
Who shut it down?
Everyone in our group had connected with a bird today, and it was time to head back to the clubhouse for lunch. I caught up with Ralph Cagle, who says hunting is a key component of a program like this.
I mean, we teach them theory, hunter safety, and all that stuff, but until you're out actually doing it, it's entirely different. But now they're out here, they're actually shooting at a pheasant, they're actually walking around in nature. It's the best of anything you possibly give them. It's actual doing it, and doing it far exceeds talking about it.
Cool. How did it go out there?
Went good. They got 2 birds on the group and a lot of flushes. It was a great experience.
Good deal. Did you get to shoot a pheasant?
Yes.
Nice.
So,
all right,
2.
cool. So how long have you been hunting?
The past, I think like 2-3 years. Past 2-3 years I've been hunting.
All right, awesome. And how about you?
Today I got my first rooster, and I've been hunting deer for 2 years. This is my first year small game hunting.
Nice. Good job. So you guys are going to keep doing this, you think, hey?
Yes.
Awesome. A very special thanks to Salvation Army, Pheasants Forever, and Safari Club for all their efforts in reaching out to recruit youngsters into the hunting and shooting sports, and for keeping our outdoor heritage alive and strong for our future generations here in Michigan's Out of Doors.
Well, one thing that we get quite a few emails here at the show about is Hunter Orange. When you're supposed to wear it, when you don't have to wear it. On this next story, we're going to show you a product that's made right here in the state of Michigan that will help you out because you'll have Hunter Orange with you at all times.
Hey, I'm Andrew and this is Jeff. We're the owners and inventors of FlipTech Camouflage. We've designed a jacket and vest that have 500 square inches of orange always available at your fingertips. The idea was born on a black bear hunt in Ontario where you have to wear orange out to the stand and back out of the woods, but once you're on stand, you can remove it. Very similar to our predator hunting here in Michigan. So we've all been in a position where we've maybe forgotten a vest or have to reverse a jacket in inclement weather. No longer is that an issue. With FlipTech Camouflage, you expose over 500 square inches of orange, keeping you compliant not only in Michigan, but in any state that you're going to travel to. So with a simple flip, it disconnects with magnets, reattaches with magnets, so it's going to be quiet, silent, just like we all want. FlipTech Camouflage is licensed with Mossy Oak. What you see here on Jeff is our breakup infinity pattern. We're all very familiar with it, and we have access to other patterns as needed. The material that we've chosen is actually called a brushed tricot. Simply put, it's quiet. It's also a waterproof and breathable material, so during inclement weather, you don't have to worry. We've designed it with a ripstop interior to cut down on the wind as well. With pockets, drawstrings, an elevated collar should cover you no matter where you're hunting. Great for youth hunting, great for as you travel from state to state and the regulations change. With FlipTech Camouflage, you go from stealth to safe in seconds.
Thanks for joining us this week for Michigan Out of Doors. Coming up over the next few weeks, lots of fun, exciting stuff happening. Jimmy, Jordan, and I have all been out in the woods with cameras rolling, so we've got lots of fun stuff to bring you. On next week's show, we will have a bow hunting update for you. We'll also be heading over the next couple of weeks up to the UP for some bird hunting and out on the St. Clair River for some sturgeon fishing too.
That's right. There is just a ton of stuff going on this time of the year here in the great state of Michigan. If you missed part of this week's show or last week's show, want to see something again, you can always check out our website at MichiganOutofDoorsTV.com. And if you do the Facebook thing. We're on there as well. We're also on Twitter. Lots of ways to connect with us. And if we don't see you in the woods or on the water, we'll see you right back here next week on your PBS station.
Michigan Out of Doors is presented by Jay's Sporting Goods with locations in Clare and Gaylord. Jay's, serving the Michigan outdoor enthusiast since 1971 with a wide variety of outdoor products. The gear, the knowledge, the tradition of Jay's, on the web at jayssportinggoods.com. By Rosie Brothers. Located in Dryden, Michigan, Rosie Brothers has been serving Michigan for over 40 years. Specializing in outdoor needs, Rosie Brothers features Kubota tractors and equipment for use in farm, home, or commercial needs. On the web at rosiebrosinc.com. By Propane, exceptional energy. Propane retailers promote the safe use of Michigan-produced gas energy in homes, farms, and businesses across our great state. Learn more at usemichiganpropane.com. By Meyer, a destination for hunting, fishing, and camping. From bug spray and tents to GPS and gas, Meyer has nearly everything you need to take on nature and get you there. Meyer. Closed captioning is brought to you by Propane, exceptional energy. Propane retailers promote the safe use of Michigan-produced gas to outdoor enthusiasts across our great state.
When I wander far away, a dream stays with me night and day. It's the road that leads to my home state. I am a Michigan man. Changing seasons paint the scene like rainbow trout in a hidden stream. White-tailed deer in the tall pine trees. I am a Michigan man.